the NFC Conference Championship game. We have the Philadelphia Eagles, who coming into this season, we knew more times than likely they would be in this game as long as they didn't have any crazy injuries, and Nick Sirianni was a better coach than what the media portrayed him to be. Meanwhile, for the Washington Commanders, for them to be in this spot is a testament to how good of a season Jayden Daniels has been. Jayden Daniels, throughout this playoff run for the Washington Commanders, has quickly solidified himself as one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Jayden Daniels deserves to be in the MVP discussion, because when you ask somebody to define what the MVP award means, what is the definition of the words MVP, it means most valuable player. And Jayden Daniels, if you take him off the Washington Commanders, you have one of the worst rosters in the NFL. But he has taken a team that has been one of the worst in the NFL for several decades, one of the worst ran in the history of sports, and overnight has led this team to one step close of making it to the Super Bowl, one step close of immortality. When you have elite quarterback play, the team rallies behind it. It elevates the coaching staff, because every play that Cliff Kingsbury calls, even if it results in a bad play, Jayden Daniels can turn it into a great play. Jayden Daniels has just completely elevated the Washington Commanders, and we've never seen a rookie quarterback be able to have this kind of impact on his team in his first season since probably Andrew Luck and maybe Russell Wilson, their first years with their respective teams when they got into the league as rookies. But for the Philadelphia Eagles, a big strength that they have over the Washington Commanders is up front. They have the best offensive line in the NFL. And against the Los Angeles Rams, Saquon Barkley ran for 205 yards. He was averaging 8 yards per attempt and 2 touchdowns. You have a Commanders defense that has been one of the worst in the league against the run all year long. They gave up 201 on the ground against the Detroit Lions last week in the divisional round. They're going to have a hard time being able to slow down Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley just might break the all-time record for rushing yards in a playoff game against this Commanders defense, because they are not good against the run. And that means that Saquon Barkley is going to put the most pressure that Jayden Daniels has ever had to play with, because he's going to have to be flawless. The Commanders cannot afford to have a single wasted possession offensively, because if they do, you don't know if your defense is going to be good enough to stop Saquon Barkley, and the Eagles could easily win the time of possession battle where they're turning out 8, 9, 10, 15, 17 play drives for 8, 9 minutes long, and you may only have maybe 4 or 5 possessions in the first quarter, and maybe 3 or 4 at best if you get lucky in the second half. I'm going to have a hard time seeing a way that Dan Campbell and this Washington Commanders defense are going to be able to put up a good enough game plan. They're going to be able to scheme up something good enough to slow down one of the greatest running back seasons that we have ever seen in the last 2 decades in this league. Saquon Barkley, if it wasn't for how brilliant Lamar and Josh Allen have played, he without a doubt would be MVP, because he has had a sensational season. And he is the heart and soul of that Philadelphia Eagles offense. And he is carrying that unit. And if you were to take him off of Philadelphia and it was just Jalen Hurts versus Jayden Daniels, then I feel this game would easily favor the Washington Commanders. But I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to win, because the Washington Commanders defense, they're not going to be able to slow him down. He already went for 205 against the Rams last week, And with the Washington Commanders already giving up 200 against the Detroit Lions, we've already seen that this is a defense that is not good enough to slow down a running back as good as Saquon Barkley. You also have to factor in what Jalen Hurts is going to bring to the ground game as well. The Eagles, they're going to win a time possession battle. They're going to keep Jayden Daniels off the field. Vic Fangio has coached up the best defense in the NFL this year. And the Washington Commanders, they're really going to need Jayden Daniels to play flawless football if they want to end up making it to the Super Bowl, because they just are outmatched talent-wise, and you just are really asking a lot out of their defense to be able to slow down Saquon Barkley. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles. 27-17 is going to be my final score prediction in this game.